Hey everybody, you're watching the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Coupled, Season 1, Episode 2, called Instant Connection. We're going to be breaking down the episode and sharing our thoughts and predictions. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We're starting off with a little Urban Drake for you guys. We are back and we're with some very special guests in studio tonight. We've got Alicia Blanco.
Hi. Where do I look?
Right there. And Alyssa Reeves in studio as well from the Couple dating series on Fox. They are here in the flesh. Of course, I'm your host, Samantha Benitz. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz. And I'm joined by Michael Clouse, who's in the house.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing this evening? You can follow me on Instagram at TheOnlyMC, on Twitter at MichaelClouseTV. Ladies, where can they find you?
Well, on Instagram, they can find me _Alyssa Reeves, and Snapchat and Twitter is I am Alyssa Reeves.
And all my social media is at Alicia Blanco. That's Snap, Twitter, Insta, Periscope. I just got.
LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn. Everything is all the same though.
Alicia
Blanco.
It was taken.
Oh, darn.
Very
Well, you're
cool.
the only Alyssa Reeves in my book.
Oh, thanks.
Aw, see, the love is real between the contestants here on this dating series. So how does it feel to watch yourselves on this show since you guys have been in the Caribbean before this?
This is crazy. I
So
mean,
weird.
seriously, it's the weirdest, most surreal experience to turn on like TV and see your face and not know what you're gonna say. That's I think the scariest part for me.
It's so scary, and I'm used to being on camera. I do a lot of red carpet hosting, but this is so different because you're putting your heart out there. You're dating. It's just a totally different ball game. Seeing myself on TV in
How's
this
the
way.
Caribbean, though? Have you ladies ever been there before?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
so pretty.
The water was unreal. Like it looked fake. Looked like an actual postcard, and you just like right there.
I want to go back. I really want to go back already.
I want to
It's
go
so
back,
pretty.
but I really don't want to walk right or left like anymore. Like
Just walk
ever.
straight-
I just want to
straight
walk
into the
straight
water.
from now on.
Straight into the sunset.
Yes.
So, of course, what did you guys think of episode 2? Since now we've seen Alicia took center stage this episode, and it was great to see you looking good as usual.
Thank you.
And Amari seemed to be thinking the same, and you guys had a little date. How was that experience for you?
Amari was such a great guy. I think that seeing it back on TV, it's always going to be weird because there's things you don't remember happening. But we had a good time. He's a great person, and I did notice that he and Dom definitely had a lot of chemistry and compatibility. So it's weird. You're there on a date with 2 other people, and you're trying to stand out.
Yeah.
You're trying to give them space to get to know one another, but you're there for love. So.
Yeah. And we were saying, I mean, there's hours of footage, and so it's crazy.
Hours.
In the show, 40 minutes, I think, without commercials, so you never know what's
Right.
going to go in, and it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They totally had to clip it and make it work. So you did get represented well. You looked great. I mean, everybody on the show really seemed to be bonding over time.
Yeah.
And I even noticed that with you and Dominique. I recently saw that you guys went to a Beyonce concert, so it looks like you guys are super cool even after the date.
She is my girl. We did go to Beyonce front row. I will never forget that experience. Shout out to Dom because that was an unforgettable time. And like I said, being in Anguilla, getting to know these girls, establishing friendships, and Dom being one of my best friends from the show. So no shade there. Total besties.
Oh, man. Yeah, you can see that pic on your Instagram.
Yeah, it's on my
Right?
Instagram.
So
All
everyone
over.
can
She's
see
all
it.
over.
Formation tour, and they
Yes.
said they were sitting front row.
Front.
people,
Oh.
so-
She sweat on us. We locked eyes. She sang to me.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
Always a good thing.
Oh, God.
Beyonce
Sweat on me more,
It's
please.
gold.
Oh my word. Before we move on, by the way, just we love to have everyone chime in and reach out. So use the hashtag #ABTV Coupled or reach out to us on Twitter. We'll be taking questions if you want to ask something for these ladies. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Want to get
Bring it
that in?
on.
Yes,
Bring on
of
the
course.
Reach out.
Of course, you got to get to know these ladies. They are out here doing good things. So I want to ask you guys just to hear it from your mouths.
Okay.
What are you looking for in your ideal man? And I'll start with you, Alyssa.
All right. Well, besides sounding like Phoebe Buffet with the whole sexy flim thing going
It's
on
very
today.
Sounds
exotic.
good. I think
Is
I like
it?
Yeah, I like it.
It's nice.
Own it.
All right. Well, I'm just going to work with it. But yeah, so what I'm looking for is someone that loves adventure. And I think something that's so important is that you can find adventure in like the little small nothing things that happen during, just kind of like mediocre days, and you can just find enjoyment in going to the grocery store. I mean, I know that sounds silly.
Is that even
but
like spontaneity?
do you know what I mean?
that,
Is it like spontaneity
Yeah,
too? I mean, you'd be able to just
spontaneity,
make
yes.
adventures.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like make an adventure out of anything. I think that says so much about a person. And that's something that I really, really look for. And someone that is just enthusiastic about life, like just has a zeal and just goes for it. It doesn't mean you have to be crazy all the time, but, just really like embrace everything around you.
Absolutely. I think it's always great to have a partner to go grocery shopping with
Exactly.
as well. You're like,
It's so
"Hey."
boring when you go by yourself.
All the little mundane things in life. That's what we need, somebody by our side,
That's
I
right.
swear. So what about you, Alicia?
It's so funny she said that because I love grocery shopping with Bae. It's so
Right?
much fun, yes.
Oh.
But it's so funny because I just literally yesterday posted a blog, like my 10 must-haves in
Right.
a man. So thanks for asking to follow my blog. Number one, I need a Christian man. It's very important to have a Christ-centered relationship for me. Must love dogs, specifically my dog Romeo. He's
I
my
saw that
son.
you had-
Oh my God. What kind of dog is he?
Teacup Yorkshire Terrier.
I have the
it's
same
cool.
kind. I have one
The
too.
exact same dog
have the
on
same
Instagram.
dog.
Great minds think alike, clearly.
That's true.
And then if you date me, you date my family. I come from a big Mexican family, so there's Nana, Tia, Christina, Tia, Irma, my sister, my cousins. You have to be ready to just jump into a big old Mexican family. We're loud, we eat a lot, we talk a lot, we just lots of love, lots of affection. So I need an affectionate man.
Yeah.
Your family sounds awesome. I want to date
They're
your
so
family.
Yeah.
my family is so.
Can they
cool.
come next week?
I want them here. Yes, familia, please. They're the best. They're so supportive. So my man has to be ready for that.
Yeah.
Intelligence is sexy. Generosity is sexy.
That is a big turn on. Someone who's generous and does not
Oh,
withhold
exactly.
kindness, especially. Wow, that
Yeah.
says
Yeah, it can't be
so
keeping
much.
tabs. Got to just do things
Yeah.
out of the niceness of your heart, and that's so great to find in a man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You find joy in bringing other people joy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Amen.
that's it.
Even Michael was noting that last week about Alicia. He said it's great to have a family-oriented woman, and
Absolutely.
it's awesome to hear you guys looking for that with your man. So let's get into some fun stuff too. Who is your celebrity crush?
William Levy, call me. Love you so much.
Wow, William. Wow, I
He
didn't
is
expect
so
that.
sexy. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Oh,
Okay,
we
'cause
all
so-
are made aware who this man
know who that
is
is.
on the show. I'm telling you what,
He is so beautiful.
we all know. Well,
He's
aware
just so
now.
fine, just family oriented.
Yeah.
But he's tall and sexy, and his accent, and he can dance. He was on Dancing with the Stars like 3 or 4 seasons ago. I got to meet him. Died.
Right. So you know he can move.
Oh my gosh! I never doubted him.
And Alyssa?
Okay, so I have two. Okay,
Ooh.
and they're kind of totally different. So Tim Tebow, like, I
Okay.
think that man is just
He's
I'll
perfection.
give you that.
Okay.
I have a man crush on Tim.
And then, see, how can you not have a crush on Tim?
a great guy.
Come on, he's a great guy. He's a good heart. And Henry Cavill, Superman.
Ooh,
Like,
Superman.
I mean,
Oh,
come
okay.
on.
Is it the
Yeah.
tight suit or is it him
It's
out
that
of the suit?
black
It's
hair,
both.
gel
It's
back.
all of it. It's
Those crystal eyes.
yes, all of the above
And he'll
and more,
rescue you.
please. And
Yeah.
he'll rescue. I'm sure.
Did you
he will
like
in
his
real
dark
life.
side in the latest Superman movie, though? He was kind of edgier.
It's kind of sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, you gotta like a little bad boy. Not too much.
Not
though,
too
right,
much.
ladies?
Never
You know.
too much.
That's right.
The right amount.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
just
need
the
a good
right.
balance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have another question for Alicia. So, what was it like trying to start a romantic connection on camera? I know you've been dating probably previously, but never in a circumstance like this, I'm guessing.
Yeah, never like this. I mean, we are mic'd from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed, and cameras everywhere. So you're trying to just focus on why you're there, right? You're there to find love. But it is hard. I'm not going to lie. It took me a while to adjust, but I think all of us adjusted well. And the guys that they brought were, we call them gams. Can we say, are we allowed to talk about it yet? It's a
I'm sure
thing.
we are,
It's
yeah.
a thing that we invented, the girls.
Hashtag GAM.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Okay.
What does that stand for?
Hashtag GAM is a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So the men that they brought all surprisingly were. They had the full package. So it was really nice to do that. But on camera, it's hard. I can't even lie. It's kind of hard.
What were
It is
expectations versus reality of, what were you thinking it would be when you were going on the show? And then obviously now to even think back, not even like watching this, but to think back of what actually transpired.
Well, it was so different because we didn't know what to expect because it's a new show.
Yeah, you
so
didn't
it's
have a
not
previous
like
season to compare it
right.
to.
So it wasn't like, going on, all these other dating shows where you've seen season after season, you know what's coming next. It's like every day we're going, okay, what are we doing next?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, another guy's coming. Great. We had no idea. Like, we were genuinely surprised when they would bring on more men because they never said how many guys there were going to be. So there could have been 4 for all we knew.
Yeah.
I actually
No
noticed
idea.
that when BT arrived in the show tonight, is that the girls seemed very surprised because you didn't know when someone was coming.
No.
So it was like, oh, a helicopter's flying above. That means another man is coming.
That's why there was so much
Helicopter.
excitement.
Exactly. It's like we're there, and then men falling from the sky, and like all of us say now, we're scarred from the show. We can never hear a helicopter again and not look up and just start freaking out. And like, there's some part of us that just expect a really hot guy to just magically appear. So.
Oh my gosh, I saw that video with you too where you're talking about it's raining men and you were doing a little weather reporting, which could be a side gig for you.
Alyssa, what's the weather today?
It's literally raining men here. Back to you.
Oh, it was so
Look at
classic.
this, on point.
How long did it run? How long were you guys in Anguilla?
5 weeks.
5 weeks
total.
Really? So, I mean, that's actually really...
No phones, 5 weeks.
That's true. That was a big deal because you really can't
none
talk
of your own
Right.
phone.
None of our own
phones.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
So we can
definitely
talk to
gave
each
us-
other, but no one, outside
Was
world.
that good at a certain point, though, to be able to just check out?
Actually, yes.
Totally.
I
bet.
loved it.
It was nice.
At first, I had severe anxiety.
I think we
was
all
like,
did, yeah.
this was a sign. I was like, I need help. I heard my phone go off, and I didn't have a phone. I was like, oh no, this is bad. Like
I
I'm
can
hearing
still
like
hear it.
But
I
it
can
was
still
so
hear
nice.
it.
It was nice to disconnect though, right?
Oh no,
I mean, they took our
great.
phones the first few days. We're like twitching because
Oh,
obviously
that's what it
we
was.
like
We're just like-
swear by our social media and
Yeah.
Twitter and Instagram. But after a few days, I was like, this is nice. I like this. And then they give us
Yeah,
new
I know. But you know
All right,
what?
I can take a selfie again.
But you know what? It does put you in the moment.
Yeah.
And you're not worried about
Absolutely.
like posting all the time and like, letting everyone seeing what you're doing, which is great, but you kind of lose a little bit of just being there and just
Being
soaking
present.
it all in.
Right.
And that was something that I really took away from the show was be more present and just enjoy where you're at instead of focusing on like documenting every second.
Yeah.
I've always
Absolutely.
said that about flying before. Now, obviously, you can get Wi-Fi on a plane, but I've always said that in that I've enjoyed the 3 or 4 hour flights when you didn't have Wi-Fi because
Right.
you couldn't text anyone, you couldn't get on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, and you had to sit there and you
just
had to
be with
think,
yourself, yeah.
be with yourself,
Absolutely.
read, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And
But you
then
can
life
imagine
is just
though,
run as soon as you land.
when you have so much time to think though.
It's a
It's
little
almost
intense.
it's a little much when you're nothing but 12 women on an
Right.
island and you can't text your friends or your mom. You're kind
Sorry,
of
is this
going
the point where I
crazy.
feel bad for you for being on the island for 5 weeks in
Yeah.
Anguilla? I'm sorry about that. That must have been really tough for you.
Well, somebody has to do it.
And of course, it allows you guys to bond too. So that's kind of the
Yes.
good thing. Putting you guys in a sequestered area where you are kind of just left alone with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the interesting thing too, is I feel like there's so much footage that they have to choose from, and then at the end of the day, a lot of it's clipped out. So we only get to see tidbits of the entire experience.
Yeah.
So is
They
there
gotta throw
anything?
some drama in because everyone wants the drama. You want to see it.
Exactly. So I feel like these girls are all like best friends secretly, but I literally love that they can bond, while they're on an island going after men. Because when you don't know how many there's gonna be, in your head you're probably thinking like, okay, I gotta be on my A game,
Yeah.
but I wanna be like getting to know these girls as well.
Exactly.
Something I want to be able to ask, and then we got to get into the show because
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we got to talk about the
we always
show.
talk about the show. Oh yeah.
Is that with this show, when we talk about you've never had an experience like this to be able to compare it to with the Bachelor, and we talking last week that kind of the difference is that this is more dating and that's more serious. Did you ladies feel that going in that it was a
Absolutely.
little less pressure?
Yeah, it was, when they talked to us about coming and being on the show, they prefaced it with, this is going to be more like real life.
Yeah.
And this is going to be, like actual dating, not, ending in a proposal or something like that. So, it's just kind of like, let's just see where it goes. And so
It's just
it was
more
nice.
realistic
Yeah,
too.
it was
There's
realistic.
no
Absolutely.
pressure of having to get down on one knee and propose to someone after knowing them
Yeah.
for a month. So it's way more realistic, I think.
Yeah.
And that's why I agreed to do it. Just seemed more realistic. Plus the phones, bonus.
Yeah. It seemed like a good catch when I saw the show, and I was wanting to ask you, Alyssa, if you had one word to describe your experience, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Only
One word?
word?
That's a pageant question.
Right?
Oh man.
Look at mine.
the word like wild
Wild.
in the
Okay, I
sense
like it.
that it was wild, just the way that all these women came together from different walks of life, and we all became real friends on the show. But then just wild because these guys are just coming out of the sky, and you don't know what's going to happen each day. It's totally different, and so in a good way, wild.
I like that answer. That was a good one.
Absolutely.
Such a good
So
one.
of course, let's dive into episode 2.
Let's dive in. We were left at a
go.
cliffhanger last time.
Oh,
Who would
Dun, dun,
Amari
dun.
choose? And we thought that he would choose Dominic. I think we both agreed Dominic.
Yeah.
And then we didn't know between, was it Kristen
Talia.
and Talia? And I think we were kind of split. We got one right.
Yeah.
We were like 50%.
that was a good guess, though. You
Those
guys.
good guesses.
One out of two isn't bad.
From the clips we saw, that's what it looked
That's
like.
pretty
And then
good.
we saw Alicia
And then,
was chosen.
yes.
Hello.
I guess the pageant didn't scare him away. He liked doing the little twirls and answering
Which
pageant
we
questions.
now know more about pageant is that you represented Arizona.
I did at Miss USA 2009. I was Miss
Absolutely.
Arizona.
Very
so
awesome.
of course I want the guys to know that's a huge part of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So I only have a few seconds in the first impression to get that established. So I'm like, let's
Yeah.
have a pageant because I was Miss Arizona. What else am I supposed to do? So it worked out though for me.
But it was really funny, though.
Yeah.
I thought he'd do his little twirl.
Yeah.
And how he's like, never say never, but he did it, right?
did.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did it. He did well.
Was there pressure? I mean, it's literally. You have 2 minutes with each of the guys.
They didn't really give us a time. They just said it was first impression. They would like.
Yeah, it was a couple minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Okay.
long. I think 5 minutes was probably
Max,
the longest
yeah.
anyone ever, carried on the conversation.
But again, it's realistic. It's imagine being at a bar. A guy walks
Right.
up to you and it's like, would I or wouldn't I give him my number? You're not going to sit there for half
Yeah.
an hour. It's like 5 minutes and you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
very
Like I said
realistic.
last week, it was the 5-minute rule.
You called it.
You know when there's chemistry
You
or
know.
not. So it's awesome. Very realistic.
Oh, my
man.
goodness.
And so, obviously chose to go right. Were you
Yep.
surprised when he picked you?
I was. Well, listen, here's the thing. This was the second day that we're there. I'm optimistic. I'm new to dating. I've only ever had serious relationships back to back. I've never done this whole dating thing. So I was like, let me walk right. Like, he's cute. He's attractive.
Yeah.
We got along well. As soon as we got to the tiki bar, though, I was like, I felt like, oh my gosh, like, the girls here really are excited. Talia was shaking. Dom's energy, TT's energy. Like, there were some women there who were like,
Yeah.
Felt a strong
and,
connection.
and while I did feel a connection with him, it wasn't like that. But I was like, but I'm optimistic. Let's see what happens.
Right.
And
I think that's the right attitude to have.
Yeah.
That's the dating attitude to
you
have.
have to be open.
You have
date
to.
to find out people.
right.
Yes.
And
That's
the
what it
first
is.
few minutes are always uncomfortable. I feel
Yes.
like when you're getting to know somebody, you're like feeling them out,
yeah.
and then you're like, I don't like it, and then you can turn and like them a lot later. So
Totally.
it's that
Exactly.
optimistic attitude, and
Yeah.
then it probably awards a lot of people relationships. I mean, I know, from experience that when you first meet a guy, you can kind of tell in the first 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
it's after you spend a lot more time that you can determine if it's actually going to be a good match.
Right.
With all your personality traits
Totally.
and all that
It's
stuff.
the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so you went.
So I went off to the
Okay.
villas.
Off in the
Yeah.
sunset.
I'll never forget that. I'm like daydreaming right now. It's just so beautiful, the water and just the whole experience of being at the villas where Jay-Z and Beyonce have stayed, Blue Ivy.
So they weren't lying about
yeah.
the blue.
Oh no, they were these villas were wild.
So
Like
wild.
they were crazy.
So we were so spoiled there. We had Max, a butler, bringing us anything we could ever want at
Oh
any
my
time
goodness.
of day. And
Wow.
how can you not fall in love there? I mean, like Dom said, it's if you can't fall in love there, you have issues because it is so
got problems.
pretty. So I was really happy to be there.
Very nice, very nice. And then so you obviously had the dinner, and we obviously know that it didn't work out. He chose Dom,
Yep,
which
he chose
is
Dom.
you were happy.
Yeah.
Again, because Dom and I were so close,
Yeah.
and I think that will come across throughout the duration of the season that we're such sisters, and we do have such a bond at the bungalows, and we are rooting for each other. We all are there to find love and hope that our friends can find love too. And I was honored to be a witness to Amari and Dom's chemistry and compatibility. It is awkward. You're on a date with the
Right.
guy, and there's another woman there, but she was my friend, so I was really happy to see that she was so giddy and glowy, and it worked out for them.
Talk about the relationship. So you go back, and even we see several different points here where it's girls that they're not necessarily competing. I mean, they are to an extent,
Yeah.
but they're not as much as what you see on The Bachelor. So is that
Right.
relationship? Is there a really strong relationship? Did that help? Did you comfort each other?
Absolutely.
Did you encourage each other?
Yeah, it wasn't like a cutthroat situation, where you're there's just one guy,
Right,
It's
right.
like, okay, well, it didn't work out with that one, but I'm sure another one's on the way, and so it's like
Yeah.
it really allowed us to like
Have a choice.
Yeah,
huh?
have a choice. And,
Ladies'
and-
choice.
And grow our friendships too,
Yes.
because I mean, let's face it, we had a lot of time where it was just
Yeah.
us. So, you know,
much
I know people don't go on these shows to make friends, you're there to find love and all that, but let's be honest, like you got a lot of time on your
Yeah.
hands, and it's a lot more fun when you can actually be friends and enjoy it while you're there
That's
too.
so
Yeah.
true. I saw this quote by the executive producer, Mark Burnett, and he said, in this show, the women are very empowered, which is very true. Typically, there's these shows where women just get chosen, sort of like a meat market, and this is not that. This is like normal, real life. The women absolutely can opt in to get to know the guy better or not.
And that was
So
even
that's
part of the
exactly
show
what you're
going on
saying.
is that they said the women have more control. And that you're able to decide even left or right, and you're able to have more of a say.
And even once you get to the villas, if you're like, oh, I know I walked right, but I'm not feeling it, you could send the
Right.
guy home and go back to the bungalows to meet the next guy. So we had total control.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I
So
like
nice.
how there was the shift of like being able to choose after that conversation if you walk, you know, to the right to say yes and left for no. And there was always this little like conundrum I can see in so many women's minds, just like and like left and right. And I love tonight when Alyssa took the left after the guy was like, she is stunning as stunning can possibly be.
Sorry, BT.
No, but you know what?
Both of you
She's
ladies,
sticking with
we
her
thought
heart.
that you were going to walk right, and both walk left.
Yeah.
Told us.
I know. And so that was a really interesting meeting because, you know, I think I even said afterwards, like, oh, he's tall, dark, handsome, like,
Right.
I mean, like, great guy, great personality, great conversation. And I walked left. Like, I mean, for a second, I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, am I sabotaging myself here? What am I doing? But
No, that can happen.
you sometimes you just kind of have to go with your gut, and you know, for some reason I just didn't feel it, and that's all
Trust
right.
that,
You gotta
the
trust in
women's
that.
intuition.
That's right.
Yeah,
He can be a great guy and be a great friend. It doesn't have to be that.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
That's
and
so
I got
true.
the friend vibe. I mean, like, having just got back from the villas, I was like, okay, I cannot walk right unless I have that overwhelming, like,
It's true.
confirmation.
Right.
You know, so that's why I walked left. But he is a gorgeous piece of man. Like, he's
Yeah.
beautiful, so.
And I love the line of questioning you use as well, like cats, dogs, Christmas, or Thanksgiving. I was like, yes.
This or that, or, oh, it's such a fun game to play, you know?
It is.
So
You
let's
get
go
to know
through
their
let's go through the
values.
answers you were looking for. You
Okay.
had Kobe and LeBron,
I think I said Kobe. I would have picked Kobe.
She's a Kobe gal.
Yeah.
and dogs, cats. Obviously, we know it's dogs.
Duh.
Clearly,
Yeah.
was it Christmas?
Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas,
Christmas.
obviously.
Avi.
It's the best.
I don't remember what else I asked him.
I think there was one more, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, those were the three.
But I liked
recall.
all of his answers.
Summer, winter, I think was the
Oh,
other
that's
one.
it. Yeah.
Oh, I did? How boring was I? Jeez.
I was going to ask you, what were
Why
you
did I
looking
ask
for in that
that?
question?
There's no right answer for that one because I don't know. I like winter, but I can't admit that. We're in the in Anguilla, so.
Growing up in Phoenix,
In
there wasn't a
Arizona.
lot of winters.
Exactly.
Not so
That's
much,
probably
yeah.
why I liked winter so much because Arizona they get up to like 120 over there. That's
Yeah.
why I
Wow,
moved.
it's
Growing up,
cooking,
growing up
yeah.
in Wisconsin, I choose summer all day, every day.
Can see that.
That's his new mantra.
But it is.
So the bachelor we're talking about is BT. He's 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the military for 6.5 years. He's a wounded and medically retired veteran per se. He's from St. Louis, and he was wounded by a roadside bomb in
Yeah.
Iraq and an amputee. So
So for
props to
6.5
him.
years.
So
And then
when
when he
it
got
comes to-
out, he said he started a nonprofit for veterans who were kind of facing that same situation, getting out of the military. Seems like a really just high class guy.
He's a
Yeah.
really great guy. A lot of respect for him, and the way that I think that he handled himself from the beginning. You know, saying, you know, he's talking to all these women. He's like, I'm sure you noticed I don't have a leg, and everybody's like,
No, we
what?
didn't.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you never think that. He just carries himself so well.
So
and
Yeah. And I love that. I just saw him like swimming. I was like, he totally is just like athletically fit and just like
He's confident.
showing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a
As he
beast
should
and I
be.
love it.
Such
Should
a
hold his
beast.
head high.
Yes, and he's a romance novelist now, which I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. I've like never even met a guy or heard that title before.
I was shocked when, you know, you're like, well, what do you do? What do you do? And I mean, I've never even met an author before. And I was like,
Exactly.
really? Wow. Wow, that was really squeaky.
That was so cute. It was adorable.
Real cute.
All I was thinking is like Fabio, you know, on the cover.
Yes, that's the first thing that popped in my head when he said that. I was like, Alyssa, focus. Like, get back in the game. Come on.
Yeah, it's almost like too good to be true. Like you're gorgeous and you're like a hopeless romantic and you
What's
write
the
about
catch?
it. What's the catch? Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe it's like the Taylor Swift thing where like the girls become the subject of the novel and then you're like, oh my
yeah. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, you're like,
oh no. I don't want to be the star of your next novel, so
please,
I'm gonna
no.
walk left.
Yeah, no, and so then we saw obviously who we picked, and the disappointment was Alex.
Mm-hmm.
She was very, very heartbroken.
She was
Was
having
in
a hard
tears.
time.
How
with
was that when
one.
she came back
Well,
to the villa?
what do you mean?
When she came back. Yes,
when she-
after not being
Yeah.
picked.
Oh.
Was that?
Well, I wasn't there. I was at the villa, so you were there. She was crying.
Oh,
at the tiki
after,
bar. At the
yeah,
tiki
she
bar.
was having a hard time
Oh,
with
yeah.
that. Yeah, just
Okay.
because she never left the bungalows. She hadn't left there yet, and so, yeah, she was just really, looking forward to possibly getting to know BT better, and her little heart was just broke. With little Alex, she's so sweet, and I love her because she's so optimistic and enthusiastic about everything, and whatever she does it 100%, and so you can expect nothing less from her. And also you have to keep in mind, we had been there for a while at that point. It wasn't like we were there for a day and a half and it's like, where's my man?
The anticipation is building.
It's like
and
it's
building.
building and building, and you're there for a little while now, and so it probably came across that she had been there for a solid 24 hours and had given up hope on life, but we were there for a little while.
And I came back the
anyway,
next day because I wasn't there when that had happened. Or no, I think I was there, but because I walked left, I wasn't at the tiki bar. So I was in my bungalows
gotcha.
trying to overhear what was going on and saw that she was so upset. And by now, I have established at that point a really close sisterhood with Alex. I felt like she was a little sister to me, so it broke my heart, and I tried to really be there for her. I think they kind of showed like a clip of me like, are you good? Like if my little sister was upset, like I'd want to be there for her. Because like you said earlier, we do have a sisterhood. We did bond. We're there together for a long time and had a lot of alone time. Just the women.
A lot of time.
So I really wanted to be there for her because she was very, very upset, clearly, as you saw.
Right. I like that clip where I saw you comforting her because I feel like you're putting your heart on the line in this, and it's a very vulnerable experience, and it's good to see the camaraderie there between the ladies.
And the fact that you're not competing for that same guy means that you can do that. Right? I think that's something that you see on this show that you don't see on a lot of others because there's almost too much competition.
And again, that's why this is such a good show. It's much more relatable because in the real world, you wouldn't be wanting the same guys as your friends, and you want to encourage your friends and cheer them on as much as you want them to cheer you on. So
You're so right. And we also see a little drama tonight between only Lisa and Michelle for a minute or two. They weren't vibing. What did you think about that?
I mean, I think it was just a
High strung day.
yes, yeah. There was a lot going on, and at that point, once again, you're there, not a lot to do on this island, and so you're just sitting there. Tensions are building.
Yep.
And so it's
It
high
makes
strung,
sense.
it just kind of snaps.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say there was a lot of judgment because we all could be in that same boat.
Oh, exactly. I know if
Easily.
I was on that show, I'd probably look like crying or who knows. Like,
there's a lot of ugly Kim K crying.
Yeah,
Titty
yeah.
Stay tuned. But but here's the thing. Michelle was really close with Dom as well.
Right.
And she decided to walk right out of like support for Dom.
Yes.
right.
And I actually asked her today. I was like, what would you have done had him already chosen you? Like, awkward. Would you have said, no, I'm just here
oh
for...
no thanks, I'm here for my friend. Like I mean,
Right. And that's a tough call.
I'm the wingman in this situation.
Yeah.
You want.
And that's just what pissed off Lisa. Made her really upset. Like, why would you do that? That's not real. So that's where the drama starts.
Real quick, realist, optimist. Are you a realist or an optimist?
I'm a bit of both.
Bit of both?
I am the most realistic optimist you've ever met.
There you go.
Well, I'm just wondering, like,
blend.
because throughout the show, did you go there thinking that it was a possibility, obviously, that you wouldn't find the right person? Are you talking to yourself, throughout the 5 weeks that you're there saying,
Oh, I see what you're
it could
saying.
happen, it
Yeah.
could not happen, and that's fine, because I'm a realist, and I
Yeah.
realize that it's not necessarily meant to be, whereas some optimists really could build their hopes up.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you have to go in there. We didn't know how many guys there were going to be, but there's only 12 of us, so we figured probably not going to be more than 12 guys.
Right.
And when you think about, okay, so there's like 10 guys out of like the entire population and the chances of actually, you know, meeting like the one. I mean, it can totally happen, but you do have to be, like you said, realistic about it and not just be brokenhearted because it is a small, very, very, very small percentage of guys that you're meeting. So,
Of course.
you know, but hey, it can happen and it's happened on.
But you got to take advantage of the circumstances as well.
Absolutely.
So it's
Right.
definitely both.
So what do you guys think so far is your favorite memory from the show? I'll start with you, Alicia. and then we'll go
I
to-
guess I have to go through the no filter stuff that's been posted. I'm not sure if you checked that out, but that's some of the most awesome footage ever. Probably when me and TT were giving twerk dancing lessons to the rest of the girls.
Oh,
Classic
boy.
moment. And I haven't yet seen the no filter footage from tonight's episode, so I'm sure some of my more favorite moments will happen in there as well.
Ooh, I know we were mentioning that on the social media
All the
behind the
stuff
scenes
that's on it.
clips.
It's
We
incredible
love
to be
it.
able
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
So for me, they posted, Coupled posted this video today. Are you familiar with the man dance?
No.
Oh, yeah, the
Man
Oh,
dance.
let me tell you about
We're
the man
learning
dance.
today.
Let's hear
All
it.
right, so you know, you've heard of a rain dance. You know, you want it to rain, so you got to
okay.
dance for it, right? Well, we really were needing men, so we did a man dance instead, and it was led by none other than Alex. You know, I mean, no one else could really spearhead a project like that, like she could, and you know, got us all kind of dancing like idiots. But you know,
In a circle,
I think
like,
it,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tribal.
it was like a tribal
We
thing.
committed to that.
Was there any
Yeah.
flames in the middle? No? Was there-
you
In
know,
our minds, there was.
in your mind?
in our
Okay.
minds, they were on fire.
We're
but
sacrificing animals. Like, we were doing everything to bring men to the island.
It works.
totally worked. There was a helicopter shortly
next
thereafter.
day.
So
See, that's so
Bingo.
cool that they come in on like helicopter or bow.
oh yeah,
Oh,
what a
shit.
way to make an entrance.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were gonna do that for every guy either. So
Oh,
the
no,
first
we
guy
had
was
no
like,
idea.
wow, like that's really romantic. Was that his idea?
Oh.
But really, that's just how they brought
Guy number 10, you're like, okay, come on. Let's, Come on, we've seen
Stuck
it.
it
Come on,
before.
come on,
Let's
come
go.
on. We know it's not yours.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, parachute down. Let's see it.
Oh man! So we have the second couple.
Yes.
Obviously that forms, and we now have more people. And it's interesting because we saw a different dynamic in the couples villa,
Yeah.
where now you have two. And I'm wondering what it was like for Alex and Lindsay, kind of being there alone for the first little bit, where it's like,
That had to be a little awkward.
Right,
I mean, let's
yeah.
be
That's what I'm
real.
thinking.
That is like, so what's your middle name?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I mean, you're just there.
anyone else
and-
joining us here?
That's like when your friend
Yeah.
pushes you in the room with your crush, like, she wants
Yeah.
to talk to you, and you're like, thanks, girl. It's like the worst. So I want to hear, what was your audition process like? Because I'm dying to hear what it takes. Is it like a video audition or like something along those lines?
Yeah.
process.
Well, mine was actually pretty quick, and I did a Skype interview with one of the casting directors and or producers, and then if you make it to the next round, then they have you come in and meet with network executives and the executive producers, and do like a kind of
Like screening,
informal,
yeah.
informal question and answer type thing, and ask you more questions about your love life and what you're looking for, and
Probably like across the board.
Oh yeah, I mean it was anything and everything. I mean it was a really fun experience. I liked it. It was just like, they'd ask you questions. You're just like, oh, well, just give me a second. I've never even actually thought about that but hold on, I'll get an answer.
I know, and that's the thing. The cast is like intelligent, beautiful, successful people across the board. So I felt like they did a really great job casting the show, because I just look at everybody and I'm like, wow, there really is something so lovable about each and every person, and you can see why certain people vibe. Like I even noticed Alex and Lindsay seemed like an old married couple by
That's
like
what we
oh my
called
God.
them.
That's what they were on
That
the
was
show.
their
They were the
name.
old married couple.
They show
Married
such a
couple.
fantastic relationship.
Yeah.
Even, riding horses. The comment with the food.
Oh, that was
Oh
everything.
my word.
Yeah,
I'm
I know
losing
the
it.
struggle. Like
Yeah.
girls are like, I don't know, but no, not that restaurant.
That's it's the Notebook. Have you seen the Notebook clip that's
Have you
attached?
seen the
Oh.
notebook?
No,
I know the one you're
The
talking
Notebook
about.
Oh, yeah.
clip
What do you
attached.
want?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
want?
It's not that easy. What do you want?
So accurate.
It's
my
not even funny.
favorite.
Yeah. so good. But we did call them the old married couple the whole time, and I know some of the other couples would go to them for advice. They're having problems in their relationship.
Wow.
Be like, we need to talk to Alex and Lindsay. Like
They were like the old pros at the villas, you know?
Yeah.
Did you have access to be able to talk with them once they were in the couple's villa? I mean, you had your cell phones,
Cell
but like
phones.
Yeah.
not face to face.
Well, no, because in the couple's villa, the couples are living all together in a villa. So it's like
Okay, so later on,
kind of like a frat house,
Yeah.
like a really nice frat house.
I mean, you
know?
could even talk to them like at the bungalows if you were still, single, hadn't met your bae
Yeah.
yet. You could still text the couples
Right.
and get advice. And then once you get to the couple's villa yourself, if you did, then you can text them too. They're just down the door, but you could go knock on the door or text them. So
We're talking about the social media aspect.
Yeah.
What was told to you guys coming in? Obviously, that's another thing that sets this show apart. Did they really encourage it? What's your even thoughts on relationships and social media and texting in general?
They didn't tell us that was going to be part of the
was a
show. So it was a total
Really?
shock to us. And they were like, so they take our phones, right? And they're like, here's your phones. We're like, what are you talking about? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And so that was a total surprise that we were going to be able to actually, talk to each other. You should have seen us. You would think that we had been deprived for like 5 years or something. It would have been like a couple days, and then-
yeah. But again, that's what makes this show so
true. So
relatable.
different,
Because
yeah.
how can you
Exactly.
possibly date today without your phone? All the apps where you swipe right or swipe left or just text to follow up and
Yeah.
see if
For
you're
me,
going to
it's just
continue
like
dating. And
It's like Tinder,
getting
we were
advice,
saying.
It is. It's real life Tinder.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just so much more relatable, and the phones are absolutely necessary and such a huge part of the show because it's just so realistic to today.
I liked it because it was like we could document our experience. That was really cool. It's like,
true.
of course we're gonna see the show and it's beautiful. It's just stunning, visually stunning.
Wow, it is.
But
Yeah.
there's so many of these behind the scene clips that we took on our phones, and so it's just like from our perspective, which is the memories that we
Hilarious,
took from
yeah.
So hence the man
Good
dance.
time,
So.
the man dance, the
Man dance.
selfies.
Good times.
And I also noticed Terrence J killed it as a host for this show.
Oh my
He
gosh.
made you guys so comfortable. I felt
love
like
him.
he just made a totally uncomfortable situation comfortable.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
he's so personable and he's a great host.
We thought
Like,
he was the
love him.
first guy. He walked in and we're like,
I
too
love
good to be
that.
true.
Like
Right, going right.
yeah.
We were not mad.
No, but he was great. He was, like you said, he was so great, like diffusing situations
Right.
that could have been like super
Yeah.
awkward, But
Yeah.
he was just, like more of a friend coming in and
Yeah.
just trying to help sort out the situation instead of.
And he was really invested in all of us too, and you could text him too. That's the thing. We also could text Terrence if stuff was going
Really?
down. Yeah.
That is so awesome.
And he
You
would
get some
text
Terrence J
us.
advice.
Yeah, get some Terrence J advice. He would send us little texts of encouragement, and for the couples at the couples villa, what were they called? The
food for thought.
Food for thought. He would,
I like
yeah.
that.
So really cool. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get him on here later.
Yes, we'd love to
Reach
have
out.
him on, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye out. So, of course, we also have Dominique and Amari, and they were
That-
having a very romantic date,
It
but
seemed like it started strong and
Yeah.
then
diffused.
fizzled pretty quick.
I mean, they were riding horses in the ocean, which I was like
I
swooning at
know.
the sight.
Oh,
Come
man.
on.
So
That is the
jealous.
most romantic
So
thing
pretty.
I've ever seen.
I mean, really?
No.
Did you guys get an update with that on your phones? when it
Oh,
was
yeah.
happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
then like,
it's painful because you're at the bungalows, and it's like, just
You love your
drinking your Mai
friends.
Tais.
We
like,
love each other, but we're like, oh, I'd much
We're
rather
like,
be
but
there
I'd
than
rather
be
be there. Like, I love you guys, but I gotta go.
I gotta get out of here. You're going a little stir crazy with all these women, and you see that they send a selfie of them on the
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah, living it up.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
How funny was Amari? What he said though, his line. They were like, "So do you do this?"
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
thing?" Oh my gosh, he kills me. That was the funniest part of the whole
Dying.
episode. He's
Dominique
hilarious.
wasn't feeling it though. She's
No.
like,
She did
I'm
not
a
think that was funny.
I thought it was hilarious. They're good. It was funny.
oh, man. Yeah, but then they started to see a little bit of drama, and
Yeah.
so they kind of left it hanging on that a little
Dun,
bit. That
dun,
was part of the
dun.
tease.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we
so
want to see who BT chooses.
BT. Yeah,
That's the
That's gonna
cliffhanger
be-
right there.
that's one of the
I'm
cliffhangers.
curious what you
Yeah,
guys
who do you
think
guys
because
think he picked?
obviously we know,
know.
but what do you guys think?
Ashley or Kristen? I'm gonna go Ashley just because of his values and everything he was saying. I just feel like he
Yeah.
is looking for the older part of him, which
I was gonna say that was an
the
interesting
younger
how he
part,
said
the
was
older
the older and younger. Before he said that comment, I was going to go Kristen,
Me too.
but I And I'm trying to separate myself from what I would pick versus what he would pick,
Right.
which is a tough thing to do. But I'm still gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna say Kristen. I'm gonna say
okay.
Kristen.
All right, this is good.
You know,
Okay.
I just feel
Both
like
great girls.
I feel like they
It's
had a little better connection.
Yeah, he did say Kristen was vibrant and full of life, and then he said Ashley was a sweetheart, caring, and nurturing. So
Yep.
both great qualities. So
Yeah.
we're excited to
And
see what's gonna happen.
every girl on the show is
It's a great
girl.
catch. It's like you can't lose,
Yeah.
really.
It's so,
So
true.
there's
The women
really-
were amazing that we got to
Phenomenal
be
women.
there with.
And then
you know,
the other
5
tease
weeks
next
with.
week is Taylor. We learn more about Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
First impressions, you saw like 30 seconds of him.
I think he's gonna be cool. I mean, he seems like kind of like Rico Suave. He's gonna come
He
in
does.
there, you know, like, I want to kiss. I'm like,
Almost overly confident, but
Yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
how it
I mean,
it
I
plays
think
for him.
one of the girls may like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's funny.
I love hearing this side of it,
Yeah,
like of
it's
your
so
impressions.
cool to hear that side, isn't it? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Wink once if we're correct. No. It's
Oh my
Just
goodness.
kidding,
So
just
before we
kidding.
wrap, let's get into some awesome news and gossip.
Yes, real
because
quick.
we have some great stuff, including Alicia and Alyssa. So we'll start out with the ladies of the show hit the red carpet, and here they are looking
can see
gorgeous
that
and
picture.
glamorous, just
Aw.
bonding. Tell us
So
about that
fun.
experience.
Oh, that was such a good
That
time.
was amazing.
Our premiere party.
It was great. So the girls that were in LA or close to LA, we all got together at Rock and Riley's and had a red carpet. Alicia did the interviewing with her.
it was fun to interview my
company.
friends.
Yeah. And she's great at hosting, and so it was a lot of fun just to be there. You know, we all had our friends there, and
We
just
pulled it together
support-
by ourselves.
and support each other. Yeah, so it was great. We
It
all
shows the lifelong friendships that you
we all
Yeah.
pitched
We
in
could take
and
over the world because literally we did that party by ourselves in like 2 days.
Wow.
We did everything on our own, and we were like, God, we could like run our own PR company.
We are kind of a dream team over here.
Yeah. Squad goals. We are squad
Yes.
goals.
Get-
I was
get it-
looking at
get
the
more
outfits.
Beyonce.
I'm like, yes, all these girls are slaying. Which,
Go
like,
Go back to the Beyonce song, Who Runs the World?
yeah.
girls.
Exactly. Oh,
You
it's
know.
so relevant. And of course, Terrence J also shared a pic of him chatting with the Bachelorettes. He wrote, I had a lot of fun shooting at Coupled Fox. Much love to the entire cast, crew, and all involved, and this show is unlike anything you've seen.
It's true.
Oh,
Which
True
we can
story.
definitely confirm.
Yeah.
True
2 episodes
story.
in. Can't wait for the rest of it.
What's ahead? Thank you so
Oh,
much.
so much
lovely
is coming.
ladies, for
Thank you
being
so
here.
much for having
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for having
It's been
us.
such a pleasure. Before we go, where can they find you?
Yes.
On Instagram, _Alyssa Reeves, and Snapchat and Twitter is I am Alyssa Reeves.
And I'm at Alicia Blanco. Like I said, all my social media is the same, so you could find me. My dog is the star of all my social media, though.
Yeah, your dog. Both of your dogs are
No
so
shame in
cute.
that.
Hey, no
He's so
shame, no
smart.
shame.
No shame.
Lucy's pretty cool chick, so.
Yes, I definitely want to check it out.
Oh,
Well, thank
my
you
word.
guys so much for watching. That is pretty much a wrap. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can watch us on AfterBuzzTV.com, YouTube, or iTunes. Leave us a 5-star rating or a thumbs up if you like what you see. And once again, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz, BENITZ. And
You
Michael, where
can
can
find
they find
me
you?
on Instagram at the only MC, on Twitter at Michael Clouse TV. My Snapchat's on there. That's all you want. That's all you need.
That's the goods right there, people. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.